one of the most powerful men in the world, Xi Jinping, the president of
Xi
China, the
Jinping.
chairman. I saw a picture of him also holding Bobby the bear.
Extraordinary story, isn't it?
How
Talk,
did
talk
that
about having
happen?
an influencer. It's, again, being ready for the opportunities that come up. It's amazing how many people come into our store and we have the same picture that you've seen, and they walk in, the eyes widen, and he's Xi Dada. President Xi, and who's obviously held in great reverence within China, and President Xi was governor of Guangdong province from memory, which had a sister relationship with Tasmania. I think President Xi was quite proud of the fact he'd travelled a lot, particularly to Australia, but somewhat ironically, given the very strong relationship, Tasmania had never been there. And it was almost one of the first orders of business that when he became president of China, that this meeting, this visit was planned. So he was coming to Australia and made the special trip then to Tasmania, with whom he'd had a very special relationship for a long time. So we got this very strange call one day that sort of said, we are going to be welcoming the president to Tasmania, and would we like to be part of that? He said sure, and they made it clear that he wasn't actually coming to visit us, our farm, but that we were going to be selected as one of the state gifts. And it shows you the power of symbols, that this bear had become very, very symbolic within China, of, again, friendship, of love and romance. And without going too deeply into it, it became the de facto gift for young men to give to their sweethearts as a sign of their love and affection. And I think it became a very symbolic gesture from Tasmania for the same reasons of the relationship, the strength of the relationship with China. This still spins me out to this day. It's still mad. It makes such strange sense to me, but it was just a wonderful part of our history. And so we had a visit from some officials in the Chinese government to make sure that we weren't some radicals, and weren't going to embarrass the president, which of course we weren't. And this gift was presented to the president within Tasmania when he visited Tasmania. And I always think it's slightly funny when I look at that picture and I try and imagine what he's thinking. And when I see that photo, I don't see a look of like, he's not sitting there going, what the hell is this? He's going like, yeah, I got one of these. But, yeah. And it's to me just hilarious that this is we've chosen. And as I said, we have such a wonderful relationship with Tasmania, with the Tasmanian government. We're out there and we're promoting and we're doing lots of amazing positive things. And we're really, really thankful for the fact that they supported us as well. And this handover of this bear, this meet and greet, we're told, was viewed by some hundreds and hundreds of millions of people in China. And again, we had that first bump with a celebrity piece, but Xi Jinping, ultimate celebrity, love it. And so, again, we love the effect that Bobby has. He's just this cute little form factor, heat pack that somehow has become much more symbolic of something much greater. And really what we don't talk about a lot is the fact that it was the gift to Xi Jinping, but then it became also the gift that companies would have to give when they visited China. It was very strange. We'd get calls from companies going, can you help us? We're going to China. We asked them what they want, and someone said, bears, can you help us? And of course, and so it became this sort of like diplomatic envoy that helped a lot of Australian companies build their relationships within China, which again is just, to me, just phenomenal.
I mean, the second you land in Hobart, you can't get around
can't.
Bobby the bear.
You can't.